Have you ever wondered why certain people pull away from you without explanation? Why you walk into a room and heads turn? Not always out of admiration, but sometimes out of confusion, even discomfort. Why some people are drawn to you like a magnet, only to suddenly retreat as if they've touched something too real. You're not being dramatic. You're not too much. You're powerful, and it shows. This message is for the women who have always felt a little out of place. Not because they weren't worthy, but because they carried something others couldn't define. A force, a fire, a frequency that most people simply aren't ready to face. Your aura speaks louder than your words. It enters before you do. And it communicates in a language only the awakened can understand. When your energy is strong, when your soul has done the inner work, when you've turned pain into wisdom, you don't move through life like everyone else. You walk with a presence that demands honesty. You hold space in a way that makes people face their own shadows. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your silence says everything. And while some people admire you, others will misunderstand you. They may call you intimidating when really, they're just not used to someone who doesn't chase approval. They may call you distant when, in truth, you're just protecting your peace. They may call you intense when what they really mean is you make them feel emotions they've been avoiding. That's the cost of power. Not everyone can handle it. When your energy radiates effortlessly in your walk, your words, your wisdom, and your worth, you start to notice patterns. People stare, but don't speak. They feel seen, yet avoid eye contact. They gravitate towards you, and then pull back just as fast. They question themselves not because you judge them, but because your authenticity reminds them of what they've buried. Let's break this down clearly and unapologetically. There are 13 undeniable signs that your aura is too powerful for most people to handle. We're not sugarcoating it. We're not playing small. If you've ever been called too much, if you felt alone in a crowded room, or if your energy has made others act strangely around you, this is your confirmation. Your power is real. Your presence is rare, and it's time to understand exactly why. Let's start with the first 5 signs that your energy is shaking rooms, shifting mindsets, and silently demanding respect, whether people are ready for it or not. When your aura is this strong, it's not just a vibe. It's a revolution in motion. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the atmosphere shift instantly? Not because of what you said or did, but just because you were there. Have you noticed people staring, hesitating, or acting unsure around you for no clear reason? You're not imagining it. You're not overthinking it. They're responding to your aura, the energy that flows from your soul. And when that energy is grounded, powerful, and authentic, it doesn't just enter a room, it changes the room. Not everyone can handle that. Not everyone is comfortable with that kind of force, because your presence speaks a language most people aren't ready to hear. Sign 1, you intimidate without saying a word. You don't need to raise your voice to be noticed. You don't seek attention. But somehow, eyes find you. Conversations pause when you enter. People adjust themselves. It's not your clothes, your posture, or your tone, it's your presence. You carry quiet strength and certainty. That can feel intimidating to those who are unsure of themselves. They may call you too much, but really, they're just not used to someone who doesn't chase approval. Sign 2, you speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You don't have time for small talk or sugar-coated lies. When something's wrong, you point it out. When someone is being fake, you feel it instantly. And instead of going along, you speak up. You value truth over comfort. That makes you stand out in a world that rewards blending in. Some will say you're harsh, others that you're blunt. But deep down, they know you're real. That honesty forces people to face what they've been avoiding. Sign 3, you see through people instantly. You can look at someone and know what they're really about. It's not magic, it's intuition. You read energy the way most people read expressions. People can lie with words but not with energy, and you pick up on it fast. That's why people feel exposed around you. They know they can't pretend, and that's exactly why they keep distance. Your aura demands truth, and not everyone is ready to be seen so clearly. Sign 4, you attract people and leave them confused. You're magnetic. People want to be near you, even if they don't understand why. But when they get closer, they see you're not like anyone they've met. You're calm but intense, gentle but unshakable. You don't follow the usual patterns. You don't crave attention, yet you draw it. That makes people question everything they thought they knew about confidence and presence. Sign 5, you thrive in solitude. Your energy doesn't need others to feed it. You enjoy your own company. You don't fear silence, you welcome it. While others chase people or crowds to fill emptiness, you embrace solitude as power. This unsettles people who rely on others to feel complete. But you've learned that real strength grows from within. And that strength is exactly what makes your aura so rare, so overwhelming for most. If you've ever felt misunderstood, misjudged, or even pushed away just for being yourself, it's time to stop blaming yourself. Your energy isn't too much. It's just too real for people used to fakes, masks, and shallow conversations. When your aura is strong, it disrupts. It stirs emotions in others, not because you mean to, but because truth naturally makes people uncomfortable. And when you carry that truth, some will respect you, while others will pull away. You don't chase people. You attract what aligns with you. You're not desperate for love, attention, or approval. You've stopped pursuing those who don't see your worth because you finally realize you don't need to convince anyone to stay. Your energy speaks for itself. You've built self-respect. You've done the inner work. That means you won't lower your standards just to keep someone around. Some may call you cold for that, but deep down, they wish they had your strength. You trigger people without meaning to. Without trying, you make others face themselves. Why? Because your confidence exposes their insecurity. Your peace highlights their chaos. Your authenticity makes their pretending obvious. They might lash out. They may distance themselves. They might even try to bring you down. But remember, their reaction says more about them than about you. You're a mirror, and not everyone likes their reflection. You have natural boundaries people can feel. You don't need to yell or demand respect. Your energy sets the tone. You walk with purpose. You hold space intentionally. People instinctively know what they can and cannot do around you. You don't entertain drama. You don't tolerate manipulation. That level of self-control is rare and intimidating to those used to crossing lines. Your aura says, I know who I am, and I protect that. You make people want to be better. Whether you notice it or not, your energy inspires, not because you preach or lecture, but because you live growth, discipline, and resilience. You've faced things that would break most people, and you turned your pain into power. People sense that. They feel your journey challenges them to reflect on their own lives. Some will feel threatened by it, others will quietly appreciate it. Here's the truth. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will celebrate you. But you weren't made for everyone. You're not here to be average, agreeable, or easily accepted. You're here to shine so brightly that you wake others up, even if it blinds a few along the way. If this resonates, don't shrink to fit in. Keep growing, keep glowing, and trust that your energy matters for a reason. A powerful aura isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you show up every day. It's the result of pain that didn't break you, growth that wasn't easy, and standards you refused to lower. Your aura is the silent message you send before a word is spoken. It's your soul signal, loud, clear, and unfiltered. That energy attracts greatness but repels weakness, fear, and anything misaligned. You make silence feel loud, You don't need to fill every moment with words. You're not afraid of pauses or being alone with your thoughts. Often, your silence speaks louder than most people's noise. When you speak, people listen, not because you demand it, but because your words are intentional. You don't talk to be heard. You talk to be understood. That presence can feel overwhelming to those used to surface-level chatter. Your calm exposes their need for distraction. Your stillness challenges their chaos. Some feel uneasy in your silence because it makes them face themselves. You don't need to prove yourself. There was a time you did when you needed validation. Not anymore. Your value isn't something to argue for, it's something you live. You walk in your truth, and that truth doesn't need applause. You don't compete because you're focused on your purpose. That quiet confidence makes insecure people uncomfortable. They can't figure out how you found peace without needing their approval. People project their insecurities onto you. It's not your fault. When someone isn't grounded in themselves, your aura can feel threatening. They may call you arrogant when you're self-assured. They may say you're distant when you're just selective. People project their fears and wounds onto others, especially those whose energy they don't understand. But you're not responsible for how others perceive your light. You're only responsible for staying true to it. You're not for everyone, and you're finally okay with that. This is the strongest sign of all. You no longer shrink, adjust, or dilute yourself to make others comfortable. You've accepted that your energy isn't meant to be easy to digest. It's transformational. And transformation is never comfortable. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to rise, to awaken, to walk into a room and remind people of who they really are or who they're afraid to become. By now, you know your aura isn't just energy. It's identity. It's strength. It's a frequency most people aren't ready to match. Your aura is powerful not because you try to intimidate. It's because you've done the inner work. You've healed. You've evolved. You've walked through storms that didn't destroy you. They shaped you. That energy can't be faked, copied, or diluted. You challenge the status quo without effort. Your presence alone makes people question their habits, beliefs, and mindset. Why? Because you're not living on autopilot like most. You don't follow trends. You follow your truth. You don't settle for average. You aim for excellence. And that kind of energy changes things. It shakes people. It forces them to reflect. Some will admire you. Others will resent you. But either way, you leave a mark. You weren't made to follow the path everyone else takes. You're creating your own. And people who are afraid to stand out will never understand why you refuse to fit in. You live intentionally. Most drift through life, but not you. Your steps are measured. Your words are chosen. Your time is protected. You don't give your energy to what drains you. You give it to what fuels you. You value peace over popularity, growth over comfort, purpose over approval. That makes your presence magnetic and intimidating. People feel it when you are clear about who you are. And when you refuse to be anything else, you are unapologetically authentic. You've stopped editing yourself to be liked. You stop shrinking so others can feel big. You've stopped pretending to be someone you're not to fit into spaces that weren't meant for you. That kind of honesty with yourself is rare. It's powerful, and it unsettles those still hiding behind a mask. Your authenticity exposes their act. And instead of facing their own truth, they blame you for being too real, too bold, or too intense. What they really mean is, you remind me of everything I'm too afraid to be. You're comfortable in your own company. This is one of the most underrated signs of strength. When your presence is strong, you don't need a crowd to feel whole. You don't need noise to feel alive. You find peace in yourself. That's your superpower. You are self-sourced. You don't rely on others to feel complete. You are already whole. You didn't wake up one day with this aura. You earned it. You earned it through heartbreak you faced alone. You earned it through battles no one knew you were fighting. You earned it every time you kept going when giving up would have been easier. And now, that light inside you is undeniable, radiant, magnetic, unapologetic, and yes, too much for some, but that's not your problem. This is your reminder to protect your energy, honor your growth, and own your power with grace. You don't chase acceptance anymore. There was a time you wanted to be liked. You dimmed yourself to fit in. You stayed quiet for peace. But now you see any place that asks you to shrink isn't worth staying in. Your aura doesn't ask permission. It shows up. Those who resonate with you recognize you instantly. They won't ask you to tone it down. They celebrate your light. You don't chase spaces anymore. You create them. You walk away without guilt. A strong presence comes with boundaries. Setting them isn't harsh. It's honest about what your soul can't tolerate. You've learned to walk away from chaos, confusion, and anything that costs your peace. And here's the truth. The stronger your energy, the more sacred your space must be. You're not rude, you're refined, you're not cold, you're clear. And yes, people who benefited from your lack of boundaries might call your growth selfish. Let them. You now know the difference between being nice and being loyal to your own spirit. You inspire without trying. You don't need to impress. Your resilience shows others what's possible. Your presence gives people permission to believe in themselves. You are proof that darkness doesn't define you. It can refine you. You walk with scars, but you wear them like medals. You speak with wisdom because pain taught you how. And whether you realize it or not, your energy shifts the room. You don't just exist, you elevate. Your presence is a mirror. To some, your energy heals. To others, it triggers. Why? Because your aura reflects who they are or who they're too afraid to become. Some draw strength from you. Others step away because they aren't ready to face themselves. Stand tall. Your light isn't meant to make everyone comfortable. It's meant to awaken. Stay unapologetically you. Don't tone it down. Don't hide. Don't shrink. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out. Your aura isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the bold, the healed, the awakened. And if that's too much for some, let them go. Those meant for you will never ask you to be less. They'll rise to meet your full power. Having a strong aura isn't always easy. It's a gift, but it can feel heavy when people misunderstand you, avoid you, or treat you like an outsider. But now you know. You weren't meant to blend in, you were built to stand out. You were never too much, never too intense, never hard to love. You are real. And in a world full of filters, performances, and pretenders, real is rare. Real challenges, real triggers. That's not your problem. It's confirmation of your purpose. Your energy disrupts. It challenges. It shakes those hiding from their truth. That's why you can't dim your light for anyone. You weren't sent to blend in with noise. You were sent to awaken, to raise the frequency, to show what authenticity looks like. Yes, it can feel lonely. Yes, you lose people along the way. But what you gain is priceless peace, alignment, and power that no one can take. Let go of the need to be liked. Let go of trying to fit in where you've outgrown. You don't need to explain your energy to people who haven't done the inner work. You don't need to shrink for spaces that weren't made for your full self. People will project their insecurities onto you. They'll sense your strength and call it arrogance. They'll sense your peace and stir up chaos. None of that changes you. You are powerful, intentional, magnetic, not because you try, but because you are. And the ones meant for you will feel it. They won't run. They won't try to dim you. They'll rise to meet it. Stop apologizing for being yourself. Stop doubting your instincts. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. If your aura is too strong for some, let them go. Their absence isn't a loss. It's proof your frequency is evolving, making space for more. A strong aura doesn't ask permission. It commands respect just by existing. You aren't here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be felt by the right people. Your aura isn't too much. It's perfect for those ready. Walk boldly, gently, and never apologize for your power. Your light isn't a threat. It's a mirror. Only those brave enough to face their reflection will truly see.